Okay, so in this video, what I want to talk about is LinkedIn. So within the pack, there's kind of two elements to this. The first is about your own personal profile. Now, you will have already looked at your niche and you'll have kind of given thought to the problems you solve for your customer and the solutions that you give. So now's a great time to look at your LinkedIn profile and review whether that actually speaks volumes of that when someone looks at it. Quite often what I'll find when we start working with people is that their description of themselves isn't how they help people, it's what they physically do. So they could be listed as business owner of your marketing needs. Okay, but that might tell me what your job role is, but how does that help anybody else? So if I'm looking for somebody, I want to kind of go to them and I want to see, helping businesses with their marketing through XY strategy, delivering successful campaigns for these companies. Think a little bit more about that niche and that one-liner that you've come up with and how you can evolve that into your description on LinkedIn. The next part of that you want to look at is your kind of story. So this is where you've got a bit more space to kind of expand on what it is that you do. And I've included in the pack some examples of different kind of ways that you could structure your profile in a bit more detail. So this is where you want to be thinking, if I was to land on your profile and read it, does it tell me what I want to know? So I want to think about what is it you do? How you do it, what people are saying about you, who do you work with, and then most importantly is how I get in contact. So you want all of that information to be within your profile. Within the first 10 seconds of someone landing on your profile, that's what they need to be seeing. Yes, it's important to have lots of jobs and, past history of things that you've achieved, but what people are most likely to look at is this profile when they first click on it. So that is the bit that you really need to get nailed. And if you're investing some time in LinkedIn over this period, that's where you want to be putting it. Alongside that, we need to start to think about your connections. Okay, so we've talked about your niche and where you're going to start sort of targeting. And as I said, lots of business will already have this down, so that's great. But for those who don't, this is where you can start to think about, okay, so within this sector, I'm going to target these type of people. Okay, and you've got the spreadsheet. It gives you a place where you can list out the sector and then the job roles. So think about the type of job roles of these people. Write your list of job roles, and then you can use that to do research. So you can put into LinkedIn search, an area if it's geographically specific, the job roles that you're looking for, and start to put some figures onto this spreadsheet. So put a bit of meat on the bones. This will help you when it comes to campaign planning, because you might find that you need to niche even further, because you might find you end up with kind of figures in the hundreds of thousands. Well, not the best place to start. So how can you niche that down further? So drilling down on that list will help you massively. Working out the job roles and job titles of these people, again, will help you massively when it comes to targeting. So at the end of this exercise, what you're basically doing is building yourself a target list for when you start to think about doing these campaigns within LinkedIn. And I know we talked about LinkedIn and how they're offering the Sales Navigator free for a month. So everybody should be taking advantage of this, but not until you've done this groundwork. There's no point, and you will end up wasting this opportunity if you don't put this groundwork in first. So take the time to think this through. Think about your niche, get your profile bang on. There's no point sending people to your profile. I don't want to go to a profile that says owner of, because it's not going to entice me to get in connections with you. So get your profile nailed, get your list sorted about who you want to target, and then we can start to think about, okay, what's our next steps for targeting these people? How am I going to begin to target them? How am I going to engage with them? How am I going to build a relationship? So either to sell now, if you'll still have that opportunity, or at the back of COVID-19, what are you going to be doing that you could have already warmed all them people in your purchase funnel and then you're pushing through to the sale. So LinkedIn is your task for the next sort of few days, however long you take to do this. I understand that people are busy with, working still or managing their lives around this, helping family, helping friends, so the idea of these aren't to put too much pressure on you, but to hopefully give you a bit of inspiration and to jivvy you along with getting some of this done so we can all come out the back of this stronger and in a good position.